Happy Friday, everyone. This is 60 Grit coming at you with the OnePlus One Open. Everybody's starting to get more in the foldable markets. For a while there, it was really Samsung in the US. You got a few other ones, but when you really look at foldables, it was Samsung. Google just released theirs not too long ago, and now OnePlus One is getting into the action, which if anybody knows about OnePlus One, they started out with their own team that wrote the code, have a lot of followers that are diehard OnePlus One. They made some changes. They lost some customers when they started not doing the dual SIMs and all this stuff. But now they're starting to listen to their customers again, and people are starting to come back that left them and use them. It's a great alternative. There's not a lot of bloatware on this system. So, like I said, I will always talk about how I cannot stand Samsung's software. Technology is awesome. Their screen is amazing. The hardware specs are highly desirable, but when you open it up and you have to play with their software, it makes it clunky, it makes it slow, that bloatware, I just put the box back in the phone or put the phone back in the box and ship it back. But anyways, we're gonna open this bad boy up and let's see what we got. It comes in this nice, pretty red box. Hasselblad, they actually use their camera lenses. This is the OnePlus One. We got 16 gigs of RAM, 512, and I think this one is the green one. Let's find out. Definitely, if you looked at if you've seen any of my other reviews, the presentation on this one is actually a lot better than any of the other ones, the ones that Samsung and stuff made. So we're gonna have the phone inside the box. And then underneath here, they actually gave you, look at this, they give you a charging block. Wow, isn't that nice? Who gives you charging blocks anymore? Nobody. So you got the charging block. And then, what do you have in this nice box here? What? They give you a case. All right, and then in here, what do we got? Got the power cable and a bunch of things. Look at that, you got the welcome, the find more benefits, the membership card. Oh, look at that, the red cable club, quick guide, safety guide, and stickers. All right, I have to say, I've done a bunch of Apple reviews, I think these stickers are a little cooler. Don't know why I would ever use them or where I would actually put them, but you know what? I will give them A+ on this presentation. They definitely have a quality product here. If you know anything about OnePlus One, they were actually considered like the giant slayer of phones. I could build a phone just as good as yours, but I'm not gonna charge the high cost. Now their model has, if you look at their prices and the phone they built, they're no longer, now they're charging about the same amount what everybody else is on those lines. So OnePlus One box, we're gonna put this off to the side, get it out of the picture. You got a case, which is, you just heard the box fall. And you know what? I don't edit, so you know what? You gotta hear the box fall. You get a case, cable. This is kind of cool. I gotta say, this is like a $30 block that they give you. Just shows that, they're trying to do something a little bit different. All right, here we go. Now, if you look how flat that thing lays. That is amazing. And it's interesting because the dimensions on this phone when open is 153.4 high. Well, it doesn't matter if it's open or closed, it's just gonna be the same. The width is 143.1, and then the width closed is 73.3. And the thickness, it varies. Sorry, I had to double check. This is the Emerald Dust variant. So this is gonna be 11.7 thick when it's closed. When it's open, it's 5.8. And it's funny, the black variant, which they call the Voyager Black, is a little bit thicker, open and close. And the black one actually weighs less. So the black one weighs at 239 grams, while the Emerald Dust weighs at 245. But this thing is pretty slick. Like, if you see, like, do y'all see that? Like, there's like, it's just nice and flat. And if you saw my review on the Google Fold, it did not sit flat. It actually stays open a little bit. And the Google Fold was a very nice phone, I have to admit. And if you want to compare it to, this is your Google, the latest Pro Edition. So when you look at it, like, it's a little bit, look at that. So it's a little bit thinner, a little bit shorter, and the width, look at that. This thing, and you know, I have to admit, this thing feels, at 245 grams, this thing, it feels kind of light. While the Google Fold felt like a little brick. They have tested this multiple times, and this is supposed to be one of the longest lasting hinges on a phone, and I have to admit, this thing feels really solid. Really solid. Got your volume buttons, got your power button right here. Let's just turn it on and see what we got. If it comes on, maybe it's dead. Oh, it just vibrated, it's coming on. Look at it, here we go. Look at the little Android guy. You know, it's funny, you know, I've been playing with phones forever, and this is, you know, little Android guy was always out there, and then it kind of like, it just seems like kind of faded away, but it was always kind of cool to see that. This hinge opens up very nicely. I have to probably say this is by far the best foldable phone I have ever touched to date. This thing makes me want to carry it. And here's a free case it comes with. So, you know, it's interesting, like, everybody buys this beautiful phone and they put these cases don't match. You know, this color is off a little, as you can tell, but it's still very nice. Snaps right on. Let's see. Some of these, when you put this case on, some of these are areas right here. There you go. You gotta, it sticks on a little bit, so you gotta make sure you get that. And then you just put this on right here. There you go. And this is the Fold. Now the main display is 7.82. Has great resolution at 2440, 2268, 426 ppi. Refresh rate's gonna be 120, so it's gonna be your higher end phone like the ones. The peak brightness is gonna be 1400 is your typical, but it's gonna go up to 2800 nits, which means this thing should not have a problem being seen out there under sun. When you open this up, oh yeah, it doesn't quite stay. Actually, I think it does. You open up, you still get 24, 84, 1116, 2K, 431 pixel per inch, and then still 120. This is a fluid AM OLED with LTPO 3.0. Looks really nice. And this also has a 1400, 2800 nits also for your brightness. This is going to be, it has your Oxygen OS 13.2 based on Android. Like I said, they kind of do their own little version. It's a nice slim down version. It's not quite like your Google Pixel, but it's definitely nowhere near your Samsung. So it's like a light version of what Google does of theirs. It's their own very stock minimum thing. It's going to have your Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 5G chipset, which is the X70, 16 gigs of RAM, or RAM expansion is 4, 8, or 12 gigs. Storage on this is 512. It has a 4805 dual cell, so it's a 3295 plus 1510 milliamp battery that's in here. And it's a cool thing, 67 watts of super VOC charging. So, you know, they make all these phones and these accessories as you go. And then the phone accessories don't ever do this, but this is why they give you this, because it's going to support your higher watt charging, which means this thing's going to charge faster than a normal camera. So your main camera right here is going to have your Sony. It's a pixel stack CMOS. It's 48 megapixels is the main camera. Oh, sorry, back here. See, I messed up, but you're going to see this in the video because I do it. The 48 megapixel it has your stabilization, your electronic image stabilization, so it's had your optical and electronic. You got your telephoto, which is going to be a 3 times and a 6 times, 64 megapixel. That's going to be in there. And then your ultra wide is going to be 48 megapixels. So when you look at the specs, these specs right here beats this specs, and this phone beats your iPhone. So the camera, can't really say, because I have, as you can see, we just opened it, barely turned it on. Can't really tell what it's actually doing, but it's what it's actually going to do in the real world. But spec wise, it does have some great specs. You got 20 megapixel front camera on here, so should take some great selfie. But you also got, so on the front, you also have, they actually have 2 cameras. So you have the main front, which is the 20 megapixels. And then you have also a secondary, on the secondary, which is the cover screen, you're gonna have a 32 pixel. So you can actually go take your selfies from here, take your selfies from here. And if you're gifted, you can turn this around, take your selfies with the best part of the camera. You got your, it's LTE, LTEA, so it's your 4 times MIMO. Wi-Fi, you got Wi-Fi 7, Wi-Fi 6E. Wi-Fi 7 is something new. If you've actually tried to price Wi-Fi 7, those routers are like $1,200 a pop. Very expensive, but you know, that's the latest, greatest, get you faster speeds. You got Bluetooth 5.3 in here. I don't think there's any other specs, but this one does have, I kind of mentioned about this earlier in the video, OnePlus One made some amazing phones. People love them. If you ever test drove a phone, it's nice, it's simple, it's very easy to use, not a lot of bloatware. But what they got away was the dual SIMs. And so then they start buying phones, 1 SIM, and let's be honest, today's technology, you want 2 SIMs. If you ever go anywhere, you want to pop in another SIM, you're gonna need that. But this one does have a dual nano SIM slot. So yeah. But this is definitely a nice phone. So if you don't subscribe, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get more of the word out there. Everything I do is real and raw. And look, I'm doing what I say I would never do, but I did it on this one because I was mad at this phone. And I was using this phone, but you know what? This is for another video. We're gonna talk about what I don't like about this phone and why I would go back to my Apple. So here I am. Now I am doing what I tell other people, like, you don't ever do a review with the opposing price. You know what? I'm doing it. And since I don't edit out, I gotta leave it, which means now you know my secret. I screwed up. But this bad boy right here is an 80 watt with a low voltage charging of 67 watts. That's why they give you this. But this is gonna be like a $40, I don't know, I haven't looked up. It's gonna be probably trying to charge $30, $40 for this thing. You get this, you get a case for free, versus, you know, cases a day. Everybody wants 40, 50 bucks for a case. So you buy this phone, and then what happens is you have to go buy your case. And then you need to buy a charging block. Why? Because if you were on Apple, guess what? Now you need the new USB-C. But this one, you ain't gotta worry about it. You buy this phone for $16.99. You You get 16 gig of RAMs and 512 storage for $16.99. You get 40 bucks for free. You get another 40. Heck, we just slashed $100 off. Like, this is a steal now. I feel like you're robbing from OnePlus. And now they give you $200 for any trade-in. You go find, what you need to do if you're going to buy this phone, you need to go find you some nasty old Nokia flip in your drawer that you kept from a day ago that's not worth anything. In fact, you try to give it to somebody, they're going to charge you $10 just to take it. You go trade it in, you get 200 bucks. And guess what? If you're a student, you go to school, they give you a discount there too. But this phone is by far probably the best foldable phone I have done, or touched in my hands. Now, I'm gonna start using it. We're gonna go get it set up later and try it out, but right now, it has a great makings and definitely a knife. I will say, I don't know if you saw that, this actually just kind of caught a minute ago, so that might be kind of painful, but hey, it's all right. All right, well again, if you're new, welcome. I welcome you too. Please leave your comments down below, which I'll be pointing down below if that's about where the things are. Please subscribe to my channel. It will help me get the word out, and you're helping the little person spread the word of honesty, truth. Nobody, again, I will state this, I am not for sale. Nobody can buy me. You can't tell me go do a review and say, then I'm at the end, I'm gonna pitch your product. Just isn't gonna work in my world. What you're gonna get is the true, the raw. When I mess up, as I messed up in this video, you get it all. So again, happy Friday, have a great day. And if I don't talk to you again, have a good Halloween.